Hey there everybody, it's Vixie, and today we're playing Samus Takes Your Entire Stock. Today we're gonna go beat the game. All we have to do is get to the ending, which is right over this really tall hill. Through a bunch more enemies. Yep, there's our car. We just gotta leave. What? Ridley, you're supposed to be dead. Okay, I misspoke when I was talking about the Metroid Queen when I said she was vulnerable to plasma beam. It was actually Ridley I was thinking of. Which I think is immune to missiles. Yeah, he's completely immune to missiles for some reason. So even if you went out of your way to collect all the missiles, there's no point, because... Ow. Because you can only hurt him with plasma beam. Also, needless to say, like, this wasn't in the original at all. There was no Ridley fight. Ow, I just keep letting that hit me. Not even that hard to dodge. Just gotta sidestep it a bit. There we go. I think lore-wise, the purpose of this whole fight is to be all, oh hey, we're gonna bridge the gap between the Prime series and the rest of the 2D games, because, oh, this is Ridley post having his organic body grown back after he went full cybernetic. Now we move on to phase 2. Fly over. I think flying over him is a good way to force him to fly. I think I prefer that attack pattern for some reason. Oh, yeah, sometimes he does it on his own. Because he has his good old tail attacks. And he can do that. Yep. I prefer you to stay on the ground. You have out. I was about to say much easier to dodge attacks, but then he blindsided me there. Ow. Hey, that hurts. Don't do that. It also feels like weird and gamey to for the baby Metroid to just give you health like that. Like, I know they probably just gave you health because you don't get a ton of energy tanks in this game. Oh, there's that attack too. has a lot of charging attacks. A lot of shockwave attacks too, between the ground spikes and this thing. Grief. It's not a free fight. He does a ton of damage. Give me some more health, please. Thank you. Oh. Fly over you if you don't mind. I do want to show off the cool freaking counter attack, but it's probably one of the the hardest attack to counter in the whole game. Just because he could pull it out so quickly. Could use some more health, thank you. There we go. We beat Ridley once and for all. We'll never see him again. Thank you, small child. Surely you'll never have to save my life ever again. And that was Metroid Samus Returns. I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to poison the well, but I don't like the way they changed the ending. Surprised this game did something to change from the original that I didn't like. But yeah, like I said, there's no Ridley fight at the end, but instead, like what they replaced it with was, like, Ridley's already kind of memed for being in almost all the Metroid games, so why put him in a Metroid game where he wasn't already? And also, like I've said, it feels so out of place because the original Metroid 2 ended on such a somber, quiet note, which is such a rarity for the series. Like, I'm pretty sure the original Metroid 2 is the only game that doesn't end on a big escape sequence or final boss, for that matter. It's just quietly walking off the planet. But other than that, this game's still good. I would still say, yeah, it's my least favorite of all the 2D Metroids. At least of the ones we played so far, because I think I would still definitely say the original Metroid, and even the original Metroid 2, are a little less fun than this. But that's kind of the compare and contrast that kind of happens when compare this game to its original form. Because while I would say Zero Mission is an ideal remake of the original Metroid, I don't think this is a very ideal remake of the original Metroid 2, because it does so much to change what Metroid 2 is. Zero Mission changed a lot, but still managed to keep in the general spirit of what the original Metroid is, and even enhance it in a lot of ways, because they made it a lot more speedrunner friendly compared to this game, where they saw a lot of what Metroid 2 is as flaws to fix rather than an experience to enhance, because they brightened the game up a lot. They made a lot more action set pieces. They added more powers, which that's to be expected for a remake of a Metroid game. Just, yeah. As I think overall, the original Metroid 2, while this game is probably, like, well, objective, a good way to put it, because there's no such thing as an objectively better game, like, if you ask me, but like, this game is overall more fun than the original Metroid 2, because, like, Samus is still, like, a delight to control. I really like the 360 aiming, and, like, she has her usual moveset from the other 2D Metroids, or at least the GBA ones. And it's like, so yeah, well, overall I'd say this game is more fun. The original Metroid 2 is an overall more refined experience, so to speak. Like, I do not regret playing the original Metroid 2 quite like I sometimes regret playing the original Metroid, just due to how boring it is. What's my results? Clear time. Wow, that's somehow longer than my practice run. That's kind of sad. Now, to be fair, I did, like, stop and talk a lot. See you next mission. Oh, does it just plot me back at the title screen? Oh no, there's this ending too. This is not the 100% ending I was talking about earlier. Oh no, look out. It's evil gelatin. Well, sure hope that won't come to bite us in a future game. Hard mode's been unlocked. Well, we're not gonna play hard mode. Oh yeah, amiibos and title screen. Yes. Okay, so where was my train of thought? I should have just set it on the results screen, because now I've lost it. Just, yeah. Like, this game's great. It may even be really great, but it still has a lot of flaws to it. And I guess my practice run was longer. 1 whole hour shorter, woohoo. But yeah, that's just the curse of being a fan of a really big fan of a series. It's just like, when something's not quite right, you feel the fact that it's not quite right. And we have the adorable baby with us on the file screen. But we still have to, yes, we still have to actually unlock the 100% ending. Because I think the intention of this is to, like, because you unlock this in milestones per a certain amount of items you've collected, like a percentage or something, I think. So I think the intention of this was just, like, seeing more of this gallery here unfold the more you go through the game. But let's see this Chozo Memories. And what these do basically is explain the backstory of SR-388 and the Chozo that lived here. So we got the Chozo first arriving on the planet. And a canon explanation of Aeon, which is like harnessing of life force of things. And they invented all the digger robots to create all the tunnels. And you can even see Diggernaut back there in the background. And then they discovered evil gelatin. We're not supposed to know the name of that yet, but it's evil gelatin. It does funky stuff to your body. Now, it's kind of hard to... Like, we're not supposed to know this yet. We're not supposed to know this until Fusion, but the purpose behind the Metroids is to... They were created by the Chozo to be a natural predator to these evil gelatin things. So now the Chozo get to live in peace on SR-388, and nothing will ever go wrong ever. Whoops! Something went wrong. It's some weird explanation of why this life cycle only happens on SR-388. Because like, no other Metroid games... Well, one other Metroid game has Metroids of the life cycle. But it's, for some reason, it's described as a phenomenon that only occurs on SR-388 for some reason. And then the Chozo drown all the Metroids in acidic grape juice. Hooray! And then help arrives. They're saved. Oh. Well, that's ominous. And I was gonna have a whole bit here where I was like, oh, that Chozo with the big arm cannon's probably gonna be in Metroid Dread, but hey, guess at the time of recording, this is like a couple hours after that direct they had yesterday. At the time this video is going up, and guess what I got spoiled on? Well, so much for that. Well, that was the 100% ending, was that whole screen turning red and then it turning out, oh, that wasn't help at all. That Chozo guy just obliterated everybody. Well, that's not very fun. So anyway, next game. Man, that baby Metroid is adorable. Hopefully nothing bad happens to it, ever.